Stacy Jewish? We've got the official 23andme.com report. We also have a disturbing report from a drag queen festival in Austin. And what's going on with Judge Roy Moore, and more news on Bible News Radio, which, as you know, starts right now.
So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word of my mouth, and warn them from me.
Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Middle Tennessee and examining current events from a biblical perspective, this is Bible News Radio with your hosts, Randall and Stacy Harp.
Hi, everybody. So this is the best of Messianic praise and worship.
Come and celebrate, rejoicing Adonai. Come into the fullness of joy as we drink the cup of gladness and leave behind all sadness.
That's right.
Dancing in the presence of salvation. Shalom, shalom. We wish you the blessing of shalom. Shalom, shalom.
Randall loves this song.
Shalom.
Are you going to put your face on the mic? There he is.
This blessing unto you, a special kind of peace, unlike the kind you might have heard about. There might be even war, but in the presence of the Lord,
that's right,
there is comfort in every situation. Shalom, shalom. We wish you the blessing of shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom.
So the question is, does this mean anything else to me today? All right, welcome everybody to the show. Glad you're here. I have to tell you that if you don't listen to the show, you have no idea why this is funny or why we're even talking about it. But if you are a faithful viewer of Bible News Radio, then you already know why this is funny. So, first thing that I want to do is say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. I see you guys. I see you. Angela, Rob, Liz, Diane, Larry, Jeff, Jeffrey, Pedro, and let's see here. And Melanie, our #1 super fan, is here. And Randall is here. Randall Pandal Bareface. It's not his real name. Of course, the question now is we got to find out if Randall's Jewish. Because if he's Jewish, then that would be super interesting. And there's Kim as well. Okay, so, all right. So basically, we got a lot to cover tonight. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk about myself first. Okay, just have to. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at Judge Roy Moore, this big, huge controversy going on with him. And what are you doing?
I'm just trying to figure out what that object is on the left side of the screen. I think it's the edge of the book there. Yeah, that's what it is.
Is that better?
Yeah.
You feel better?
Distract. I feel much better, okay. Thank you.
Anyway, and then after that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to share with you this drag queen thing, which is totally disgusting, people. Okay, so once upon a time, way back in, I don't know, April, August, somewhere this year, I'm not sure when, I had Rabbi Greg Hirschberg come on our show. He's a Messianic rabbi, which to most of you already know what this means, but if you're new and you don't, basically means he's Jewish. He believes Jesus is his Messiah, and and he's a rabbi, so he's a Messianic rabbi. And anyway, I was on video with Greg, and he said that I was Jewish, to which I thought, that's really weird. Nobody ever said I was Jewish before. And this guy was like emphatic about it. He's like, no, you're Jewish. You are. Well, I thought, well, this is interesting. And I just kind of filed it in the back of my head. And then, as you guys know, I went to Oklahoma City for the Prophecy Watchers Conference. And I had like 8 people there, independently, unbeknownst to each other, tell me I'm Jewish. Okay, so what would you do if that happened to you? I mean, it's the weirdest thing, right? I mean, including an Arab Jew, an Arab Christian. J.D. Farag actually said to me when he, and it's on video, he actually said to me, you are actually Jewish. I thought when I was meeting you that I'm meeting a Jewish sister in Christ. And I thought, that is the weirdest thing. And of course, we all made this big joke about it about a month or so ago when we were there. And so Bill and Claudia Koenig, who support, they have a book called Eye on Israel and all this other stuff. And there's others. Tom Hughes, Pastor Tom Hughes, said I was Jewish. And this other lady with a dog who was Jewish actually said to me, you're Jewish. And then she pointed out where my Jewish characteristics are, right? Like here, over here. Some people said like my mannerisms and all this other stuff. So the question is, what did the DNA say? The question, okay, so before we reveal the results, how many of you think the DNA results that I got actually said that I am Jewish? Put a 1 if you actually think I'm Jewish. And then we'll tell you what the results are. And Randall, he couldn't wait. He had to be there because, he did. And honestly, I'm going to tell you guys, the results are actually surprising to me. They were. I was shocked by the results. So you all think I'm Jewish. See, now that's funny to me. Or at least so far, everybody. Is there anybody that doesn't think I'm Jewish? Because I'm, I'm actually surprised that many people, based on what I now know DNA-wise, that is very interesting. Okay, so Randall, you want to show them my results?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, so Bareface is going to show you the results from 23andme.com. I sent it out to them, and then they analyzed my DNA. Okay, so check this out. Or whenever Bareface puts it up.
It's up.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys can read that. It's very little, actually. But here is my results. Or here are my results. And you can scroll up and show everybody. Let's see. Okay, so stop there. Okay, so it shows here that I'm 99.6% European, right? Okay, here, make it bigger.
I did.
Yeah, okay. And then, so I'm 99% European, people, just so you know.
Not surprising for a Caucasian.
I know, okay? But if you scroll up, then you can see the other breakdown. So, I can't see it past the thing.
Yeah, well.
But, if you keep on scrolling.
I will keep scrolling, just doing it slowly.
Okay, so you see I'm British and Irish, which I thought was interesting. I didn't know that. I knew I was French, wasn't sure about German. Iberian, Balkan, Eastern European, and yes, Ashkenazi Jewish. 0.1%. Aha! See? So this is funny to me because it turns out I am Jewish. At least a little part of me is. Randall's like, well, it was only like the toenail. And I'm like, yes, but don't forget, if I am a little bit Jewish, that means I'm part of the chosen people. And actually, what the results.
And if not for the toenail, where would the toe be? Still attached to the body.
I know, but
anyway.
but see, here it is. Hey, you know what? I am Jewish. Okay, see, I'm claiming it, man. Just so you know. Actually, the results. Check this out. Okay.
A Trumpeter 77 says 3% here.
Yeah.
So.
See, shalom. Okay, but wait. Let me back up though, okay? Because according to the 23andMe results, it appears, according to their results, for me, if we go back 7 generations into the 1700s, that's where the Ashkenazi Jewish grandparents that I had are. Well, shalom. So, you know what's really funny to me, though, is that I'm also Native American, and I had no idea. And I had no idea I was Irish. How weird is that? So I do think it's I think it's weird. I do think it's weird that you know, back 7 generations here, you know, that most likely my grandparents were Jewish, 100% Jew.
Not grandparents, but great
yeah.
fourth.
Well, yeah. But so, I mean, you know, grandparents out 7 generations. So, okay, so now here's the other thing. And Randall, you know, Randall was kind of like, well, you know, it's only 70% accurate that is the thing.
70% confidence.
Okay. But that's a pretty high confidence rate. I mean, that's not like it's, you know...
Yeah, well...
That's not like it's like 2% confidence or whatever.
Well, you know, it depends. If you know, there's someone who's taken a hostage and you're a sniper and you hit, you know, just the abductor without hurting the hostage, you know, 70% confidence, you probably shouldn't shoot. 70% confidence, you can make a free throw, definitely go for it. You know, so 70% confidence, you know, depends on what it is. 70% confident that 0.1% of your ancestry is Ashkenazi Jewish? Why not?
Okay, so my question is, how many of you are happy that I'm Jewish, or at least I'm part Jewish, or do you even think it counts? Do you think that 0.1 little teeny weeny percent of 1% matters? Because I find it really interesting. I don't know anything about my mom's background. Really, I don't know anything about my dad's background either. And so I just think it's funny and odd. I still think it's weird, actually, that I have a Messianic rabbi tell me I'm Jewish, and then all these other people who don't know each other, well, they know each other, but they don't know me, and then they tell me I'm Jewish, and then it turns out I actually have a little bit of Jew in me. Go figure. You know? But it's so weird because I would not have even thought. I wouldn't have thought. Yeah. Hi, Eric. Yeah. So did you see I'm Ashkenazi Jewish? A little part of me is anyway. Yeah. The little toenail part of me probably. Or maybe the pupil of the eye. Or, you know, it's interesting, too, because that one of the people were like, you know, naturally curly hair is very Jewish. And I'm like, well, I have it.
Yeah. Let's put this in perspective here.
Hey, I think it's cool. I personally think it's cool. I actually, even though it's a little teeny weeny bit, I said that if it turns out I am Jewish a little bit, how cool is that? Okay.
The darkened portion there.
You are too, Eric? How cool is that? See? That's pretty cool.
And the 7th chromosome pair.
You can't really read that.
There you see. Anyway,
can you make it bigger?
Well, but then you lose the anyway.
Yeah.
The relationships between things. The only way I can highlight Ashkenazi Jewish down here and also get
okay, and for those people who don't know what Ashkenazi Jewish is, explain that, because basically does that mean like
that it's a geographical thing in the diaspora, you know, which has occurred over a long period of time, actually, especially beginning with persecution of Jews under the Roman Empire. Those that fled the Holy Land, fled Israel. Some went to north of the Mediterranean, some went to south of the Mediterranean, you know, because they just followed the coastline getting out of Israel. And so those migrated to the south are considered Sephardic Jews, and then those north of the Mediterranean Ashkenazi Jews. And
so what are better, Ashkenazi or Sephardic?
no better. Big difference is in the pronunciation of words.
Huh. Well, you know what? I should
Of
have
Hebrew words.
I'm going to have my dad. I'm going to do my dad. I'm going to make him take one of these tests because I'm curious if he is Jewish. Because it turns out I'm mostly European. I mean, that's, you know, who knows? Maybe I came from royalty that way. I don't know. And actually, Eric, it took 23andMe. It took it's about 4 weeks. It took about 4 weeks. They emailed me the results. I kept looking at them for my mail. I thought they were going to just send me something in the mail, but they actually emailed the results. And here's the other interesting thing: is they have ancestry relative DNA matches in here as well. And like for me, it shows that there's like 1,200 other people who have DNA that is similar to mine, like just like mine. And basically you put in, if you want to share your DNA, and it shows the other people who have similar DNA, and most of them are like your cousins, apparently, you know, potential cousins and all this other stuff. And what's really interesting to me, and I was telling Randall, I said, wow, that's just weird. So I went in there. So you got to understand, I don't know anything about my heritage, really. I have, I mean, my dad has like 12 brothers and sisters, and when's my bar mitzvah? Yeah.
Bat mitzvah. It's a little late for that, Melanie, but I don't know, but she's a recent convert, then maybe.
Okay, but let me finish though, because this is interesting. Okay, my dad has like 12 brothers and sisters. They all got married. They all had kids. You know, I'm assuming most of them did. I don't know any of them. I know zero of anybody on my dad's side of the family. Literally zero. My mom's side, I know one aunt. I know of the other aunt. I have an uncle that I know that's still living. That's it. I mean, literally, that is my heritage. I have 2 brothers. Actually, one brother is a half brother. The other one's a full brother. And so that's it. So anyway, I put in there, and according to this, I have 1,200 potential cousins out there that could be related to me. But this was the weird thing. Out of it has you fill in this like little form, and then it's just like one question, and then it asked specifically, "Are you Ashkenazi Jewish?" How weird is that? And I said, yes, apparently, because you guys just told me so. But that was weird. That was like the weirdest. It was like the only question that they asked. Is that weird or what? So, the mysterious part of me, the investigator type part, says, okay, Lord, why are you telling me that I'm part Jewish now? I mean, what is the reason? I am wondering. Wouldn't you guys wonder? Or do you think this is all just kind of weird? I personally think it's weird. But then again, it makes me wonder, if I am part Jewish, what tribe did I come from? Is God calling me back to the Holy Land? I don't know. You know,
So
Moody Radio is
Should we
having
start making our plans to make Aliyah?
well, Moody Radio is having a contest right now. If you go over to their website, today's the last day to enter a contest to win a free trip to Israel. So I entered it. I figure if I win, well, then I'll go. He knows when you're ready. For what? He knows when I'm ready for what? Sylvia Sulin? I don't know what you're talking about. What? To find out I'm Jewish? That's just weird. Yeah. I actually, we've been to Israel once. And it was weird. It didn't feel like home or anything. Maybe it was, I think I probably would have been more relaxed, you know, if, yeah. He knows when I'm ready to know if I'm Jewish.
Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't have, I mean, I've never hated the Jews or anything. I've never had any problems with Jewish people or anything. I mean, God's Jewish, so, you know, I just think it's weird.
I suppose that one day, all of the redeemed will live in Israel,
yeah,
at least
the
in
New
the
Jerusalem.
But curious, Eric, why you would love to live in Israel as
think
opposed to visit.
His chosen people. Well, you have so much more knowledge now. Yeah. Well, hey, you know, I think it's kind of cool. Actually, I have a Hebrew ring on. I've been wearing it for 10 years. So it's kind of funny to me. You know, your ex has Levitical DNA? You can appreciate it better. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just think it's very cool. I think it's so super cool that I'm part Jewish. Just so you know. I think we should have a party to celebrate me being Jewish. Even though Mr. Curmudgeon, like, right there, is like, well, it's only 70% per, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you know what? It's 0.1/10%. See? Sometimes you don't even know you have a Jew sitting next to you, do you? Uh-huh. Well, now I can go ahead and make lots of jokes about this, because what are you going to do? Persecute me? We've already been persecuted throughout the ages. To be where all the events in the Bible took place. Yeah, that's true, actually. What's the age of consent for the Republicans? I don't know. The age of consent for the Republicans is probably a little bit, I don't know. That's kind of a dumb question.
To become a Republican?
Oh, you haven't been there yet? Okay.
Federal law states that you have to be 18 years of age to vote.
Eric.
So affiliating yourself, you know, you can't declare yourself part of a really, declaring yourself part of it. You can be part of the young Republicans or whatever, but
the wine
or the young Democrats or whatever.
The wine in Israel is really good. It really is. To be where all the events in the Bible took place would be awesome. Okay, you're a troll.
Yeah, that's
I'm going to block you. Block. Bye. See you later. Okay.
A repeater troll. A repeater troll. A repeater troll. A repeater troll.
Yeah, it's like cool. Yeah, so what is today? Today is November 13th. Okay, so this is the day I found out I was Jewish. I should put this on my calendar. I should tell my brother. Although it's possible my brother may not be Jewish according to the 23andMe, because we only share half our DNA, which is very weird. Or my little brother could possibly be more Jewish than me. So I might have to find out. I mean, he probably doesn't care. Me, personally, I think it's kind of cool myself. So, Bareface, what do you think? Are you happy that your wife is part Jewish, even though it's a little part? A nostril hair's part?
Yeah, well, probably more. What? Let's see. There's about 1 trillion cells in your body, so, you know, 0.1%. So, whatever that works out to, I don't know. I'm not that good at math. Yep. Well, you know,
okay.
some. I mean, we know that we're all, you know, descended from Noah ultimately, but anyway, but yeah, it's cool that, you know, 5 to 8 generations back, there's somebody in your ancestry that.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay, I use 23andme.com. And if you guys do want to get your DNA test, let me know. I'll send you a link, and then you can click through it. And then I get credit, and you do, if you want. That was the service that was recommended to me from other people that used it. They said it's probably the most accurate one out there. So, yeah. So 23andme.com. But, like, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tweet a link. I'll tweet a link into it. We've been grafted into the vine. Yeah, so, but if I'm part Jewish, does that mean I'm not grafted in anymore? I'm actually part of the chosen people? What does that mean?
A little of both.
Means I'm both?
Some native olive tree and some wild olive tree.
Does it
well,
mean,
a lot
does
more
it mean that
wild.
I'm a Messianic Jewish person now?
Oh, no. So, mark this date, the 24th of Cheshvan.
It's the 13th.
The 24th of Cheshvan.
Okay, which is what?
That's today.
Okay.
On the Hebrew calendar.
I wouldn't know.
Okay, well, you need to learn these things.
I think it's cool. So, you know what? Hey, you know what? I think it's cool. And even though it's a little teeny weeny percent, the fact is I'm Jewish. And if you want to persecute me, that makes sense. It kind of does make sense throughout my whole life anyway. And the other thing that makes sense, and then I'll shut up and we'll talk about other more important stuff, is I wonder if this was part of the reason my mom was so blinded to the gospel and so hard-hearted, you know? Because she was stubborn, I'll tell you.
Now we're stretching.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's true, but I mean,
I don't
because, yeah.
Yes, but they quit supporting the Sean Hannity show. Who did? The Jews? Are we talking about the same thing here? All right. You're welcome, Morgan Harper Nichols. I don't know why she's... Okay, anyway. Okay, so we should thank our Messianic Jewish sponsor. I'm going to let them know I'm Jewish, by the way. Oh, the DNA service. What?
23andMe.
23andMe is boycotting Hannity? What?
Probably.
Okay, not that I know of, but anyway, okay, so Ariel Ministries happens to be our sponsor. Are they really? That's very weird. Okay, I have to look. Anyway, Ariel Ministries is the Messianic Jewish ministry of Dr. Arnold Fruchtenbaum. They seek to evangelize the Jewish people so that they can know that Jesus is their Messiah. And I should say our Messiah. And disciple Gentile believers alike. So you can go over to ariel.org, which means Lion of Judah, by the way, in case you didn't know that.
Or Lion of God.
Lion of God. Okay.
You need to learn the Hebrew.
And anyway, use the coupon code Bible News. And the book I would recommend is Life of the Messiah from a Messianic Jewish Perspective.
The abridged version?
The abridged version, which is currently on sale for 20% when you use Bible News as coupon code. And also you can get the other thing.
Harmony of the Gospels?
Harmony of the Gospels, that's right. And there's other stuff too. In fact, I'm going to have Model Balston back on, I think next month. Or is it this month? No, it's next month. In fact, Model, I'll be able to tell him I'm Jewish because he said he thought I was Jewish too. And also, here's the other thing. He's going to give us the background of Hanukkah and all that. And so there are actually some really good resources over there at ariel.org that you can get. So I totally okay. Yeah. And don't forget, over at the ariel.org website, there's a come and see section. There's like 50 Bible studies on there that you can get. And they even have things as low cost as $3, and you can still save 20% on that $3 to get some good outlines and Bible study stuff. It's one of my first places to go, honestly, for biblical commentary. Dr. Arnold Fruchtenbaum has been persecuted for his faith in Christ, and he spent over 40 years sharing the gospel all over the world. And I have to tell you, what's really interesting is that he wrote a book called Israelology, the Missing Link in Systematic Theology, which I highly recommend as well. Because here's the thing, most Christians have no clue about the importance of Israel, and yet Israel is the chosen land, right? I mean, Israel is God's land. And somebody once said, how can you prove that God exists? Well, the answer, Jewish people. Mm-hmm. Because you know what? All throughout history, the Jews have been persecuted for a reason, because God's chosen people are the Jews, which I actually happen to be one, apparently. I think that's so cool, man. I'm totally chosen. That rocks.
And Jewish people still exist as an ethnicity.
I know, and I'm still here, just so you know.
I mean, where are the Babylonians today? You know, where are the ancient Egyptians? You know, where are the Assyrians, or, you know, any other people groups of, you know, antiquity.
Yep.
Lost to the pages of history.
So, there you have it. So, the Keurig thing. Okay, so Sean Hannity has been boycotted. Keurig was being boycotted by conservatives because they apparently offended or pulled their support from Sean Hannity, right? Okay. And, yeah, so all these boycotts are kind of funny. But let's talk about Judge Roy Moore, okay? Because I actually have had the opportunity to meet the judge in person. I actually met him a number of years ago down in Florida when a friend of mine was running for... What was Janet running for? Do you remember? It was the Senate seat? Can't remember.
Janet who?
Porter.
She was running for something in the Ohio State Legislature.
Yeah, it was Ohio, but we were in Florida.
Yeah.
And anyway, I had an opportunity to meet Judge Roy Moore then. And, you know, he has been persecuted. Oh, my gosh. This guy has been under attack forever. I mean, it's ridiculous. But the other thing is he has been voted in a gazillion times, right? I'm exaggerating. He's been voted in a lot. And, you know, the thing is now, of course, the Washington Post is doing their fake news smear all over the place and all that. And I just wanted to read you an email that I got from my friend Gordon Klingenschmidt, who's a chaplain doctor, PhD. He wrote this. He wrote, "Why I Still Support Judge Roy Moore for Senate." And he wrote this. Listen to this. He said, With Judge Roy Moore's name in the news about false accusations from his distant past, people have asked me, do you still support Roy Moore for Senate? I say absolutely yes, now more than ever. And then Proverbs 11:9 says, with their mouths the godless destroy their neighbors, but through knowledge the righteous escape. First of all, I believe his word over some lying women, considering that, number one, some of them admittedly campaigned for Hillary Clinton and endorsed Doug Jones. By the way, Doug is his competitor. B, some of them were allegedly offered money for their false reporting, which that actually came out when a mother of one of the accusers actually came out and said, oh yeah, by the way, the Washington Post contacted my daughter and yeah, blah, blah. And anyway. C, one of them also falsely accused three pastors of the same misconduct. And 4, none of them have reported a crime ever committed by what? None of them have reported a crime ever committed by Roy Moore, not even now. That's really poorly worded. But anyway. And then Chap says, I also believe Roy Moore's explanation when he told Sean Hannity, I don't know Ms. Korfman from anybody. I never talked to her, never had any contact with her. Allegations of sexual misconduct with her are completely false. Hannity asked, Debbie Wesson Gibson says she was 17 when you spoke to her high school civics class and asked her out on several dates. It did not progress her words beyond kissing, according to the Washington Post. Let's stay on her. Did that happen? Moore replied that he could not remember speaking to a civics class and that while he remembered Wesson Gibson, he did not recall going on a date with her. First of all, I have to ask any of you guys, would you remember all this stuff from 50 years ago or however long it was if you were as old as Roy Moore is? I don't remember the people I dated in high school. I do remember one guy I had a big crush on, though. He was really cute. But he didn't like me. He was like, nope. I bet he regrets it now. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, it says here, when asked again by Hannity if he ever dated her ever, Moore replied, I knew her as a friend, but if we did go out on dates, then we did, but I don't remember that. Moore also acknowledged that he remembers Gloria Thacker Deason, who was also named in the report. She said she was 18 at the time of her alleged relationship with Moore. As I recall, she was 19 or older. That just never happened. I never provided alcohol, beer, or intoxicating liquor to a minor. At that time in your life, would it be unusual for you as a 32-year-old guy to have dated a woman as young as 17? Not generally, no. If I did, I'm not going to dispute anything, but I don't remember anything like that, Moore replied. And Gordon says, chaps, he says, Judge Moore's answers are not half measures. They are credible to me as his truthful accounts of events 40-plus years ago. What is not credible are the lies of women who repeatedly made nearly identical false accusations against others, including pastors in the past, or campaigned for Hillary Clinton and Doug Jones, or were offered money to lie, and never reported any crime to authorities, not even today. I'm standing with Roy Moore over the gossips and liars. And I'm not going to read the rest because it's just too long. But what I will say is today, Gloria Allred, who is a flaming liberal, and on the left of everything that I know, she had an absolutely ridiculous press conference. In fact, it was here on Periscope. I couldn't believe 1,000 people tuned into it. I was just like going, really? Seriously? And so another person has come out to accuse Judge Roy Moore of supposed sexual harassment, blah, 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 blah. And you know, the irony is, my question is, why didn't they do this, when he was
40 years ago?
Well, 40 years ago, but why didn't they do it when, he was elected to be judge and Supreme Court justice? I mean, all this stuff that he's done, he's been persecuted. The number one thing Judge Roy Moore has been persecuted for has been standing with the Ten Commandments. I mean, that's his horrible crime in the sight of the world, is how dare he have a monument, and how dare he actually put the Ten Commandments up in his courtroom. I mean, how ridiculous! It's crazy. Yeah, it's so stupid.
I mean, that would have been a great time to bring up these allegations if they were true.
I know.
Well, what a hypocrite.
I mean,
Saying with the commandments and back in whatever, 1970,
it's completely ridiculous.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what's really even more infuriating to me? If you go to Twitter and you use the hashtag Roy Moore, if you type that in there, somebody else has put in the hashtag Roy Moore child molester. That really ticks me off. I mean, seriously. And somebody else put up Roy Moore pickup lines. Like, really? You know, I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it's just... And somebody else put Roy Moore is a pedophile. I'm like, really? I mean, that is actually... It's just... It's insane. It's completely insane. And yeah, Isaiah 5:20 is coming to work out here. It says the good is called evil and evil is called good. And, you know, mark my words, we're living in that day. Because here's an honorable, godly man being lied about viciously. And you know what it reminds me of? Daniel, the book of Daniel. In the book of Daniel, you had Daniel and his 3 BFFs who were persecuted for being Jewish, ironically. And not only that, but the government literally targeted Daniel individually as a person, and they created a law so that he wouldn't worship his God. And that's basically what's the problem with Roy Moore. Roy Moore is somebody who decides, you know what, he's going to follow Christ no matter what, and you can do whatever you want. He's not going to waver on what's right. So he should be a hero to all of us, honestly. Because there's zero evidence that any of these allegations are true, and unless you're a complete knucklehead and you believe everything the liberal media says, there's no reason why anybody should believe it. I mean, seriously, zero. And not only that, I happen to get email from Roy Moore's people all the time. I've been getting it for years. In fact, I want to pull up the last email I got from them. It's the Center for Moral Law, in fact. Give me a second here. I want to read it to you. And then, Randall, the article about Judge suing the Washington Post. Mm-hmm. You want to pull that up? Because this is, I mean, yeah. I'm logging in here. It looks like my Periscope just lost connection too, so I will see if I can get connected back up there in a minute. I'm trying to find it here. In fact, I've been on Roy Moore's email list for years, actually ever since I met him, because his people, I met his people. Okay, I'm not, for some reason I've lost my connection on Periscope. But let me read this. This was the last email I got 5 days ago. Foundation to Media, tell the truth. It says here, the Foundation for Moral Law, an Alabama-based nonprofit corporation, today demanded that the Washington Post cease and desist from making false statements about the foundation and its founder, Judge Roy Moore. Representing the foundation, Gadsden, Alabama attorney Trenton Garman demanded that the Washington Post immediately cease and desist from making false statements about Judge Moore and the foundation, and that it remove any and all false statements from its media sites, notify its constituents and other media that the statements were false, and advise the foundation of the number of people who visited the sites containing the false information. Garman further advised the Post that if they don't promptly comply with the foundation's demands, legal action will be forthcoming. You know what? It appears the Washington Compost, as my radio mentor Janet Parcell refers to it, I agree with her, hasn't done that. And over on InfoWars, it says here that Judge Roy Moore announces plans to sue the Washington Post. And good for him. You know what? I think it's a perfectly acceptable for him to sue them for defamation of character. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the good news is that apparently, according to InfoWars too, on the other article, he's still up 10 points in the polls despite these ridiculous lies and allegations against him. So that is good news right there. And I am going to... I'm having a hard time. Are you still on Periscope? Because I'm...
Yes. Okay,
because I'm disconnected here. I don't know why it quit. So if you're making any comments, I can't see them anyway. But by the way, I should thank you all for the hearts and stuff too, and sharing it out if you did that. If you didn't, that's okay. I'm not hurt. Do as the Lord leads you to. But if you want to bless a Jewish person, now would be the time. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Okay. All right, so Randall, what are your thoughts about the Judge Roy Moore thing? Because, I look at it and I just think, this is ridiculous. This guy has been a public person for decades.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, this stuff is going on.
Yeah, there would have been plenty of opportunity to bring up these allegations if there was any truth to them at better times. It's just that we're at a place now in our culture that people feel emboldened. I mean, we have the stuff that we have going on with Antifa and all this kind of stuff, and just all this division that's going on, this emboldened.
Okay. I'm back now. I can see our show again.